Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we're diving deep into the swirling mysteries and emotional upheavals shaking up Port Charles. From a clandestine probe into Nathan West's shocking reappearance to tense family confrontations and budding romances that could reshape alliances. In the wake of the heartbreaking news surrounding Monica Quartermaine's passing, the ripple effects are spreading like wildfire through the tight-knit community. Sonny Corinthos and Carly Spencer find themselves in a quiet, reflective moment, sharing their grief over this profound loss. They're particularly worried about how it's hitting Michael Corinthos and Jason Morgan, who are navigating their own waves of sorrow amid the chaos. Drawing from their shared history of tragedy as think back to the devastating losses of loved ones, like Morgan Corinthos, or the lingering shadows of past betrayals, they acknowledge that time doesn't dull the pain. It only adds layers of complexity. Sonny might even reminisce about his own brushes with mortality, pondering how these events force everyone to reevaluate their priorities, while Carly could express her fears about the family's stability crumbling under the weight of yet another departure. This conversation underscores the enduring bonds that hold the Corinthos clan together, even as external pressures threaten to pull them apart. Meanwhile, at the Quartermaine mansion, the atmosphere is thick with tension as Lucy Coe arrives, oblivious to the somber cloud hanging over the household. She's armed with her latest business proposition, perhaps something flashy involving Deception Cosmetics or a new venture to expand her empire. But Tracy Quartermaine is in no state to entertain it. Fresh off the emotional blow of losing Monica, Tracy's patience is at an all-time low. She might even mutter a sharp quip about timing before slamming the door right in Lucy's face, leaving the entrepreneur stunned on the doorstep. This abrupt rejection could spark Lucy's curiosity, prompting her to dig a little deeper into what's really going on behind those grand doors, maybe even leading to an unexpected alliance or further conflict down the line. It's a stark reminder of how personal tragedies can disrupt even the most routine interactions in Port Charles, turning everyday encounters into powder kegs of drama. Shifting gears to the stables, Brooklyn Quartermaine is contemplating a shake-up in the family rules, possibly to accommodate Cody Bell's desire to house a new, energetic puppy once he makes his way back from his adventures in the outback. But Cody, ever perceptive, picks up on the undercurrents of something more profound troubling her. As they chat amid the hay bales and horse stalls, Brooklyn opens her heart about Monica's death, sharing poignant memories of the matriarch's wisdom and the void her absence creates. In the Quartermaine legacy, she might weave in thoughts on her evolving dynamic with Giovanni Joe Palmieri, confessing uncertainties about their connection, perhaps questioning if it's built on genuine affection or just circumstantial convenience. Cody, with his rugged charm, could offer a listening ear and some grounded advice, drawing from his own nomadic past to help her navigate these emotional crossroads. This intimate exchange highlights the unexpected ways support can emerge in times of crisis, potentially strengthening their friendship or hinting at deeper feelings simmering beneath the surface. On the romantic front, Molly Lansing Davis is grappling with an undeniable attraction to Cody, admitting to herself that she's tumbling headfirst into something serious. Turning to her mother, Alexis Davis, for guidance, Molly pours out her confusions and excitements over coffee or a quiet evening at home. Alexis, with her wealth of life experience from legal battles to her own turbulent love life, dispenses thoughtful insights, maybe cautioning about the perils of rushing in while encouraging Molly to follow her heart. She could share anecdotes from her past relationships, like the highs and lows with Julie and Jerome, to illustrate the importance of communication and self-awareness. This mother-daughter bond provides a touching counterpoint to the show's heavier themes, showing how vulnerability can lead to growth and stronger familial ties, even as Molly weighs the risks of pursuing a man with his own complicated history. At General Hospital itself, the drama escalates dramatically when Anna Devane is confronted with a patient who bears an uncanny resemblance to the late Nathan West, arriving unconscious after a baffling truck accident on the outskirts of town. This sighting sends shockwaves through Anna, who immediately insists on a covert investigation to uncover the truth, without alerting the entire town. Teaming up with Dante Falconeri and Harrison Chase, they huddle in a dimly lit hospital corridor, piecing together clues like tire marks from the crash site or witness statements that suggest foul play. Perhaps they speculate on advanced cloning techniques or long-lost twins, given the soap's history of outlandish twists, all while vowing to keep the lid on until solid facts emerge. Anna's determination stems from her protective instincts, fearing that premature leaks could endanger lives or unravel fragile peace in Port Charles. Adding to the secrecy, Lucas Jones and Elizabeth Baldwin, who first encountered this mysterious figure in the air, pledge their discretion but can't help bombarding Anna with questions. Is this truly Nathan risen from the dead, or some elaborate hoax? Lucas might draw parallels to his own family's resurrection stories, like the time his sister Bobby Spencer faced similar impossibilities, while Elizabeth reflects on her experiences with lookalikes and deceptions involving Jake Doe. Their involvement injects a layer of medical intrigue as they monitor the patient's vital signs and run discrete tests, all while grappling with the ethical dilemmas of withholding information from colleagues. This subplot builds suspense, teasing viewers with the possibility of supernatural elements or sinister plots that could rewrite character histories. In a bid for harmony, Lulu Spencer reaches out to Britt Westburn, proposing a truce that's long overdue for the sake of their shared connection to Rocco Falconeri. Meeting perhaps at a neutral spot like Kelly's Diner, Lulu emphasizes how ongoing animosity only harms their son, advocating for co-parenting peace that allows Rocco to thrive without divided loyalties. Britt, initially wary, might soften as she considers the bigger picture, agreeing to bury the hatchet and focus on positive interactions. This olive branch could pave the way for unlikely friendships or collaborative efforts in the future, especially as both women navigate their own personal turmoils. However, Britt's newfound calm is short-lived when the Nathan bombshell hits her full force. Anna pulls her aside for a private debrief, probing about any ties to Caesar Faison, the notorious villain whose machinations have haunted their lives. Could Britt have been in on a secret all along, perhaps receiving cryptic directives from Nathan during her time at the Five Poppies Resort? Inventing a fresh angle, maybe Britt recalls vague messages or coded signals that now make sense in hindsight, leaving her reeling with guilt and confusion. Overwhelmed by the implications ranging from identity fraud to international conspiracy, Britt faces a whirlwind of emotions, setting the stage for explosive revelations that could upend alliances and expose buried secrets. Next, we're exploring a tantalizing question that's got fans buzzing. Could Jason Morgan and Britt Westburn actually be headed down the aisle, transforming their spark into a full-blown soap opera wedding extravaganza? The sparks flew right from the moment Britt Westburn made her dramatic comeback to Port Charles, landing her straight into a compelling narrative arc with the stoic Jason Morgan. It wasn't mere coincidence that Jason was the one to spot her at the bustling airport. Amid the chaos of travelers and luggage, writers clearly orchestrated this reunion to ignite something special, steering clear of her other past connections, like the lingering ties to Nicolas Casadini or her complicated family history. This deliberate choice sets the stage for what feels like an inevitable romantic entanglement, perhaps drawing on their shared experiences of loss and redemption. Imagine Jason, fresh from his own brushes with danger and identity crises, recognizing a kindred spirit in Britt's resilient yet guarded demeanor. As the storyline unfolds, we're left wondering just how profound this connection will become, with hints of stolen glances and unspoken chemistry building toward a partnership that could redefine both characters' futures in unexpected ways. Delving deeper, it's evident that Jason and Britt are on a collision course toward coupledom, but the real intrigue lies in the depth and durability of their budding romance. Britt's return isn't just a plot device, it's a catalyst for exploring uncharted emotional territories. We might see flashbacks to their initial encounters, where Jason's quiet strength contrasted sharply with Britt's bold, unapologetic vibe, creating a magnetic pull that's hard to ignore. Inventing a fresh layer, perhaps Jason reflects on how Britt's presence reminds him of simpler times before his life as a mob enforcer complicated everything, while Britt finds solace in his unwavering loyalty, a rarity in her world of betrayals. The question of longevity looms large. Will this be a fleeting fling amid Port Charles' endless dramas, or could it evolve into something more permanent, like a committed relationship that withstands the town's inevitable scandals and secrets? Britt's personality is a whirlwind of feistiness and razor-sharp wit, making her a challenging match for someone as composed and drama-verse as Jason. She's the type to deliver cutting one-liners during high-stakes moments, perhaps teasing Jason about his brooding silences while he counters with subtle, dry humor that catches her off guard. This dynamic could lead to inventive scenes where Britt drags Jason into spontaneous adventures, like a late-night stakeout turned romantic escapade, forcing him out of his comfort zone. On the flip side, Jason's calming influence might temper Britt's impulsive tendencies, helping her confront vulnerabilities she's long buried under layers of sarcasm. Some viewers argue their traits clash to intensify Britt's fire versus Jason's ice potentially, leading to explosive arguments over his ties to the Corinthos family. Yet, others champion the opposites attract theory, envisioning how they complement each other. Jason providing stability amid Britt's chaos, and Britt injecting excitement into his methodical life. Picture a scenario where Britt's humor lightens Jason's heavy burdens from past traumas, like the fallout from his presumed death, fostering a balance that feels refreshingly authentic. No matter the perspective, the trajectory points unmistakably toward a love story that's gathering momentum, prompting us to ponder the extremes the writers might pursue. Will they craft tender moments of vulnerability, such as Jason opening up about his fragmented memories, while Britt shares her regrets over past schemes? Adding a creative twist, maybe a subplot involves them teaming up against a common foe, like remnants of Peter August's influence, solidifying their bond through shared peril. The speculation heats up around whether this pairing has the staying power to go the distance, especially if fan feedback surges in their favor. It's thrilling to imagine the narrative arcs that could unfold, from heartfelt confessions under the stars to intense confrontations that test their resolve, all building toward a romance that's as unpredictable as Port Charles itself. Breaking down barriers won't be easy for Britt, who has erected formidable walls after years of heartbreaks and deceptions. But Jason's persistent efforts are already making cracks in her defenses. Their history at the Five Poppies Resort, where Jason swooped in like a guardian angel to rescue her from dire threats, laid the foundation for trust that's slowly rebuilding. Perhaps we'll see expanded flashbacks to that rescue, detailing Jason's daring maneuvers through hidden corridors and high-security obstacles, all while Britt grapples with her growing admiration for his heroism. Over time, this could culminate in a pivotal scene where Britt finally lowers her guard, maybe during a quiet evening on the docks, admitting her fears of vulnerability. Jason, ever the patient type, might respond with actions over words, proving his commitment through small, meaningful gestures like protecting her from emerging dangers tied to her father's dark legacy. Jason's deep-seated care for Britt shines through in his actions, but she harbors reservations about always playing second fiddle to Carly Spencer and the extended Corinthos circle. This tension could manifest in invented confrontations, where Britt challenges Jason on his priorities, perhaps during a heated argument at the Metro Court, demanding to know if she's truly first in his heart. Jason, in turn, might demonstrate his devotion by choosing her over family obligations in a critical moment, like defying Sonny's orders to stand by Britt's side during a crisis. Envisioning a new element, maybe Jason surprises her with a symbolic gesture, such as returning a cherished item from her past that he safeguarded, symbolizing her place as the reigning figure in his affections. This shift could elevate their relationship, positioning Britt not as an afterthought, but as the central force driving Jason's decisions, potentially leading to a power couple dynamic that rivals the show's iconic pairings. Considering their long-term prospects adds an extra layer of fascination, especially if their chemistry proves irresistible to audiences. Should Jason and Britt thrive as a duo, captivating viewers with their blend of intensity and tenderness, the writers might escalate things to matrimonial heights. Imagine the build-up, secret dates evolving into public declarations, family interferences from the Quartermaines or Spencers adding drama, and ultimately, a proposal in a dramatically fitting location like the hospital rooftop, where so many fates have intertwined. Britt as Jason's bride? It's a soapy fantasy worth Sevorange. Envision a wedding filled with twists, from unexpected guests crashing the ceremony to vows that reference their tumultuous journeys. The event could be a spectacle, complete with elegant Port Charles flair, rival alliances forming sides, and perhaps even a cliffhanger involving a resurfaced enemy. As we look ahead, General Hospital teasers hint at romantic evolutions for Britt and Jason in the months to come, promising developments that could solidify their status as endgame material. Next, we're delving into the explosive fan-favorite moment, where Nina Reeves unleashes a torrent of tough love on her daughter Willow Tate, spotlighting her string of disastrous decisions in a confrontation that's got everyone talking. The Port Charles community is abuzz with excitement as viewers rally behind Nina Reeves for finally unleashing her pent-up frustrations on Willow Tate, delivering a no-holds-barred critique of her daughter's impulsive and harmful actions. This long-awaited clash comes after Willow's downward trajectory, marked by her steamy affair with Drew Kane that shattered trusts, the heartbreaking court ruling that stripped her of custody over little Wiley and Amelia Corinthos, in favor of Michael Corinthos, and her desperate plots to claw back control through questionable means. Fans are thrilled, viewing Nina's outburst as the raw, unfiltered intervention Willow has been crying out for, potentially steering her away from further self-sabotage. Inventing a fresh angle, perhaps Nina draws from her own past regrets, like the secrets surrounding her coma and the Nina-Willow reveal, to emphasize how cycles of deception can destroy families. The question hanging in the air is whether this fiery exchange will irreparably fracture their already tenuous mother-daughter connection or serve as the spark for Willow's much-needed path to atonement, maybe even inspiring her to seek professional help beyond her current therapy sessions. Nina's cutting honesty strikes with the precision of a surgeon's scalpel, hitting Willow at her most vulnerable during a time when her life is unraveling faster than a poorly knit sweater. Triggered by the affair's fallout, Willow's attempt to frame Michael for misdeeds, and her flimsy cover story amid the investigation into Drew's shocking shooting, Nina reaches her limit and lays everything out in stark terms. She dissects Willow's choices, from the betrayal of her marriage vows to the reckless endangerment of her children's well-being, perhaps even referencing specific incidents like late-night rendezvous that led to custody battles. Filled with tearful testimonies, social media is lighting up with approval, as one enthusiastic fan on Facebook declares, "Nina is voicing the frustrations we've all been holding infinitely. Some real talk, this isn't mere criticism. It's Nina's desperate bid to shock Willow into accountability, weaving in lessons from her own history of lies that once poisoned their relationship." Adding a creative twist, Nina might invoke memories of Willow's health scares, like her leukemia battle, to argue that surviving physical trials means nothing if emotional chaos reigns supreme, all while Willow grapples with her guardianship fight over Emily Scout Kane, which could tip the scales in unexpected legal directions. Willow's precarious emotional state hangs in the balance, teetering between a potential shattering collapse or a transformative epiphany that could redefine her character arc. Her ongoing therapy has started peeling back layers of self-reflection, hinting at glimmers of insight into her flaws. But Nina's blistering words might either fortify that progress or propel her into a deeper pit of solitude and rebellion. Should Willow internalize the message, it could ignite a redemption storyline where she actively works to repair bridges, perhaps starting with a sincere apology to Michael or even collaborating with Nina on family therapy to heal old wounds. Conversely, if she lashes out, pinning the blame on Nina's interference and viewing it as yet another betrayal, their fragile alliance might crumble entirely, forcing Willow to rely on unreliable supports like Alexis Davis, whose own legal entanglements could complicate matters further. Speculation among fans is rampant, with some theorizing this could compel Willow to face her part in the tangled Daisy Corinthos Gilmore kidnapping saga or unpack her unresolved passions for Drew, maybe through dramatic dream sequences that expose her inner turmoil. Envisioning a new element, perhaps Willow retreats to a quiet spot like the Quartermaine Gardens for soul-searching, where flashbacks to happier times with her kids underscore the stakes, setting up a pivotal turning point that either mends or severs ties. This high-stakes encounter stands poised to reshape the very foundation of Nina and Willow's relationship, dangling the possibility of reconciliation or irreversible division. Nina's unvarnished drag-down might just be the tough medicine Willow requires to reconstruct her shattered existence, potentially paving the way for co-parenting harmony with Michael, or bolstering her arguments in the ongoing custody wars through demonstrated personal growth. On the flip side, if Willow barricades herself against Nina's input, it could culminate in a permanent rift, amplified by the external stressors of Drew's shooting investigation where alibis are scrutinized, and secrets unearthed on the somber shadow of Monica Quartermaine's recent passing, which stirs up grief and reevaluations across Port Charles. Will Nina's bold intervention foster healing, encouraging joint efforts to navigate family crises, or will it hammer in the final nail, driving an unbridgeable wedge that leaves both women isolated in their pain? As these dynamics play out, the emotional stakes promise to deliver gripping television, with layers of regret, forgiveness, and resilience at the forefront. Stay locked into our channel for all the latest twists and turns in this riveting saga. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat from the world of General Hospital.